This is a sad story, okay? Not actually a story, it's a fact that happened on the 10th of March with Ethiopian 302. Um, and 157 people were killed, and something like seven, maybe I think maximum nine of those were British. Um, and I mean, honestly, it's very sad that how an aircraft that I was so hyped for, um, you know, I remember last year when I was thinking, oh my god, this is amazing. This is an aircraft that I'm going to fly in the future for, I don't know, Ryanair possibly. Okay. And then what happens is that 5 months ago, Lion Air Flight 610, it crashed in, I think it was Indonesia. And apparently there was a faulty safety system in the aircraft. The pilots didn't know exactly how to take over that safety system, to override it, and to save the aircraft. And so, yeah, the aircraft crashed, everyone was dead. And then 5 months later, a repetition occurred with Africa's largest airline, Ethiopian Airlines, and they suffered, 2 days ago, the most deadliest aviation disaster, okay, with the highest casualties in Ethiopian Airlines history. Shocking. And apparently it's to do with possibly a system called MCAS, Maneuvering Characteristic Augmentation System. And this was introduced with the 737 MAX because apparently with those design changes made to the aircraft, to make it more aerodynamic, the aircraft had a tendency to actually naturally pitch up, okay, just naturally, okay, and so the aircraft safety system would actually pitch the nose of the aircraft down to make sure that it's not pitching a bit too steep, okay, and this only engages when the autopilot is off, so when you're hand flying the aircraft. And you can imagine, this occurred 6 minutes after takeoff, Lion Air 12 minutes after takeoff, okay, the autopilot will probably be off. And also, second thing that you need in order to activate the safety system is to have the flaps up. Okay, 12 minutes after takeoff, you put the flaps all the way up. There, you don't need the flaps. And so there's that. And also, if the aircraft is steeply turning, maybe the aircraft safety system took incorrect readings, but mainly it was the aircraft thinking that the aircraft was pitching a bit too high, like a rocket, when all the aircraft was doing was going nicely up. This is what the aircraft was thinking, that the aircraft is going to stall. And so the aircraft safety system, MCAS, responded by pitching the nose of the aircraft down, which of course killed, for example, 2 days ago, 157 people. Shocking. And what can I say about that? And there is one way in which, in this scenario, if it occurs, you can disengage it, and that is by manually controlling the trim. Okay, it's not the hair trim or whatever. Okay, but rather, shall I say, the elevator trim. Okay, research on the internet if you don't know. Okay, I'm not going to explain it. It's not some English lesson. Anyway, so you can override that, control it, and you've deactivated that safety system. Okay, after it's been activated, of course. Of course, that's a bit risky. What are the chances that the pilot's going to recognize straight away? Okay, so this has occurred. MCAS is engaged. Now let me override it. No, I mean, this is like so quickly that occurs. You've just taken off 6 minutes into a flight, and then that happens suddenly, and you're like, oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? And the next thing that happens is that the aircraft is going all the way down into the ground like a meteorite, and it crashes, killing everyone on board. It's not nice. So yeah, and it does remind me of a crash that occurred, well, not crash, but crashes, 3 crashes with the 737 in the 1990s, in which there was a rudder deflection issue. And that took 3 different 737 crashes within a period of 10 years. So it seems like almost like a repeat with the 737 Max. So yeah, there's that. It's crazy. Uh, and apparently, Boeing is putting out software updates for these airplanes. I think it's around 600 that's been already put into service of these airplanes. But I mean, if a computer, breaks down in terms of software, if it crashes, you can put a software update. That's fine, kind of. But in an aircraft, if it happens mid-air and you crash, yeah, okay. How are you going to put in a software update if the aircraft's damaged? First of all, everyone's damaged, completely dead. So there's that. Um, and I think it was today, on the 12th of March, that the UK has banned, for the first time, this is shocking, that the UK has banned um, the 737 MAX from entering UK airspace. And in fact, the UK, in fact, China, I'm pretty sure, they banned 737 Maxes in their country. Uh, and the previous 737, the 737-800, is to displace uh, the 737 Max for now. But I've never seen that in recent times. It's shocking. 2 crashes within 5 months, apparently due to aircraft failure. Um, and that's suspected, okay, with Ethiopian Airlines. I could be wrong. This is a speculation. But there's a lot of similarity between Lion Air and Ethiopian crashes. And these are 2 identical planes. So I'm hoping that Boeing will rectify the issue before another incident occurs. Um, because I don't want the DC-10 scenario to occur where the DC-10 damaged the reputation of McDonnell Douglas um, forever, and where McDonnell Douglas, pretty much ceased to exist. I'm pretty sure it merged with Boeing. Imagine Boeing merging with Airbus. There wouldn't be a Boeing anymore. It would be very sad. Very sad. McDonnell Douglas, they were so great with their DC-8s, their DC-9s, even their most iconic, in the 1930s, the DC-3, amazing. And you don't see McDonnell Douglas really anymore, for passenger operation. But yeah, I don't want the same to happen to Boeing. Boeing planes are my most favorite, and at times the 737 Max is my most favorite aircraft, above, the 747. But I don't know, this is kind of changing my mind. Who knows? I hope, of course, Boeing does gain its reputation. I also hope that this doesn't occur ever again, anything similar to this in the future. And I do have a huge sympathy for the victims of Ethiopian Airlines. A very safe airline, Ethiopian Airlines, but let down by a poor aircraft, not because of maintenance, okay? Not at all, but rather by the aircraft model. Imagine that the company that you bought the aircraft from fails in you. In fact, I checked BBC News again, and it's not just the UK that banned the 737 Maxes, it's also Europe, it's also India, but apparently America, this was, I think, yesterday they said this, or this morning, where apparently this aircraft is safe. I mean, it clearly isn't. But somebody from America is trying to say that they are unsafe. Please ban them. So who knows? America could say, yes, we're going to ban them. But hopefully the issues will be recovered to an extent. But yeah.